move on to the MOJO Compilation of the Year category, which once again has been voted for by the readers of MOJO and the users of mojoformusic.com. As the title of this category suggests, we at MOJO believe that in 2010, when absolutely everybody considers themselves to be their own favourite DJ, a carefully compiled collection is more valuable and precious than ever. This year's shortlist, which I hasten to add is not open to single artist collections, what a bummer, reflects the value of beautifully assembled compilations. And to reveal which compilations have made the final shortlist of 5, please welcome to the stage a great British musical adventurer. He is the fearless leader of one of this country's most enthralling bands. And as a solo artist, he has on occasion been possessed by the alter ego of Ricky Nadir, a marked influence on the young John Lydon. Ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure to welcome from Van der Graaf Generator, the one and only Peter Hammill.
And the winner is the Amorphous Androgynous.
Hi. It's a strange situation, really, because most people here are receiving awards for their own music, whereas I am a humble compiler on this evening. So I certainly can't take credit for, but the position I actually quite like, let me start again, is the fact that I am one of the few people here that can say, without appearing big-headed, fucking hell, what amazing music on this album, because it's not mine, right? And in a way, that's the idea. The idea was quite simple, actually. I mean, for such an egotistical musician as I do quite a lot out of ego, and I struggle with my ego, and that in itself has set me on a bit of a spiritual quest. But in this one little moment when we were doing a radio broadcast in 1997, we did something incredibly humble. We just tried to inspire, and if anything, this is a wonderful testimony to maybe that's the most important thing you can ever do, you know, just to try and inspire. What we were trying to inspire was slightly more complex. That gets into my own personal history. I was trying to inspire a new psychedelia based on the idea of, I believe we're all psychedelic beings, and this is a psychedelic universe, and in effect, I believe this world needs to refine that alignment in order to survive. Gets a bit heavy around here. Yeah, sure, there is a reverence from me for the 60s, but probably more than anything because I have identified something that happened in the 60s, as we most all of us have, and that is that there was a confluence of counterculture, a spiritual search that surfaced. Well, is this just fucking waffle? I love it, okay. Well, but you know, to a certain degree, I do believe we have to start again and embarrass ourselves. So if that's the way it is, that's cool. I don't mind embarrassing myself. I'm starting my journey again here. So anyway, so I think there is something actually in the Monstrous Bubble that does make it, if I can bring it away from all the great music, which I first and foremost must thank for allowing me to plumage the catalogue. Fucking hell, this is great. Is it that funny? Why is it that funny to you? I mean, I'm not offended or anything. Because I would love to... Okay, thank you so much. Anyway, I'm going to just pick myself up a bit, because the one thing we did isolate was the fact that there was a spiritual lineage that we felt was lacking. So we identified that from the 60s, and our whole modus has been to try and show that that should come forward into the present. Anyway, I'm going to thank some people. I'm going to thank the Amorphous band who have been carrying out my crazy psychedelic visions for the last 5 years. I'm going to thank the label who were either desperate enough or visionary enough to put this out in the first place. I'm going to thank Noel Gallagher, who became... I mean, a lot is said about Noel, but the amazing thing is he uses his huge media profile at points to actually give that to supporting music that he really likes. And when he fell in love with this album, he ended up being seeing as we were on a very small label, we had we could afford one advertisement for this record in one magazine. And Noel single-handedly did more on a marketing level than we ever could have done. So I have to thank him for using his considerable prowess to big us up. That's brilliant. I'm sure there's fucking more, but I don't know if you want to hear it. Do you? I'm not known for my terse. By the way, I have actually won an award before, and it was for tennis at school. But beyond that, I haven't. And I've actually got nothing to lose because you probably won't be seeing me next year. So, well, thanks for listening. I'm sure. Has Brian? Oh, this guy. This guy has put up with this kind of shit for about 20 years plus. And he's stuck with me all that time, and I love him very much, Brian. I can get political if you want. Do you want to hear that?
Oh, I guess.
No.
I think...
Yeah. Okay, I'll take that.
Gary Cobain here seems to have divided the room, it would seem. More or less? Hold on. I think that's a less. Go that way, go that way.